Welcome everybody. Welcome to this, what is it? Wednesday. It's actually Wednesday, yeah. To this Wednesday afternoon, yeah. So today I want to take a look at Cypress. So Cypress is a tool for like end-to-end testing. I think you can also write component tests, right? Yeah, but it's mainly used for end-to-end testing, I think. And I've already been using end-to-end tests in the past, but mainly with Protector. So back in the day, Protector was like the main tool in Angular, and suddenly it died. So I've been basically using Protector in the past, and I really liked it. It was cool. But since then, I kind of transitioned a bit into UI component libraries. So I'm basically writing UI component libraries on my day-to-day work, and in component libraries, like the end-to-end test flow is not so important, so therefore I've been like a bit out of touch with the end-to-end testing. And lately I've spoken with a good friend of mine about Cypress, and I'm actually curious how it evolved, so coming from the Protector days. And yeah, let's see. So there I found a very, very cool tutorial, Learn Cypress, and that's basically something I want to go through. Yeah, because it basically is a tutorial that shows how to test the whole application, how testing foundations, how Cypress fundamentals work. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, so we can install by learn cypress.io. We can start the tutorial by go to learn cypress.io, not we can install, but we can start the tutorial by cloning basically a repository and then install some stuff. So it's actually this repository. I don't want to push it, so I could fork it, but I can also just go ahead and clone it, right? So let me spin up a terminal of my choice. Here we go. Maybe it's always with the settings, so I have to bump the font size a bit. I don't know, 26, probably 26 sounds good. Yeah, so 26, so we go to documents, code, we go to some private stuff, we do clone. So we clone that app. I guess it's a React app. I'm not sure. I think it's React Next.js. So how did it? Cypress Reload Testing Course app, right? What do we have in here? Cypress config, blah, blah, blah. Package JSON, so I guess npm CI. Isn't there a package log? There isn't. Okay, then npm I. I guess those are the next steps, right? Yeah, we clone. We can also open it in an IDE. I don't use VS Code, but let's see. It's this one. We trust that project. It's always opening up on the wrong screen. And also here, I probably have to bump the font size, right? I should do that before the streams actually. But then I go back to work and I have 26, which is way too big. 26, apply, okay, good. npm install should be through. Still doing, still running. Let's see. VS Code. So we see that some browser this is outdated. So we should run that. But why you should do it regularly, there's probably a reason here, which is explained why we should keep the browser list up to date, right? But yeah. Anyway, we already started our application on localhost 3000, right? Oh my god. Yeah. So this is basically the testing app that we get from the tutorial, right? So this is our application we test against. So that's good. So that's already the first step. Yeah, so we have a app, and what do we have here? How can I? Testing foundations. Okay, courses, what you will learn. Yeah, so this is the app, right? Yeah, exactly. And here stuff is explained, which we probably go to later. The course page provides some additional information and details, yeah. Lessons page. Okay. Is there also dark mode for this? There isn't. Okay. Yeah, so, okay. Okay, I don't know if I have to read all of this. So I guess the app just has like some... We have app install and overview, right? Installing Cypress. So this is basically the first lesson, right? Those lessons correspond with... Yeah, those lessons correspond with this. Good. So I guess I have to click then on get started. Before we can begin writing Cypress test, we first need to install it. Makes sense, right? So let me open up the terminal here. We install Cypress --dev, npx Cypress open, right? Let's see. This is your first time using Cypress, which is actually correct. So this opens up Cypress here. I probably cannot zoom in, but this is actually Cypress now. And okay, with the latest Cypress we can now, let me also bump the font size here a bit. So, maybe more. So with the latest Cypress we can write component or end-to-end test. So here we are going with end-to-end testing. Click on the end-to-end test button on the left to get started. Left, this, yeah. So there's a cool trick when going with left and right and you don't know what is left and right. So left is where you can make an L, right? And right is where you have a reverse L. So end-to-end testing. Then we can probably choose the browser. Yeah, we don't want to test against Canary. Like, let's go with normal Chrome. Okay, which opens up another window, which I want to bring over. by default somehow it opens up on the other. Ah, okay, wait. Dragging stuff around is complicated, but what? Ah, this is a separate browser instance. So wait, let me bring it over here. Here we go. Good, we have now like multiple tabs open, right? So we have this one, which basically tells us that we want to test here. Now, yeah, if I choose a browser screen, yeah, that's what we did, blah, blah, blah. And this is now the application actually here, right? Where we have some specs. Let me also bump the font size here a bit. So we have our pages like API, course spec, email. Good. Cypress will then launch and ask you to create your first spec. Since you don't have any test files created yet, click on the create a new empty spec button, right? I also quickly want to reorganize my windows because I think this one comes here. So create new empty spec button. Where is the, I guess that's just create new empty spec, right? So how do we call it? Test for applications homepage. So let's rename home Cypress. Okay, we can, that's cool. We can write TypeScript here, right? So he says JS, but this should be home dot. Okay, it has to be .spec.ts, right? Create spec. Okay, run this. Yeah, so this would be an empty spec. Yeah, click create spec. Okay, run spec. So what does the spec do? It's an empty spec. It passes Cypress visit. Okay, it just checks that it can visit example.cypress.io. Whoa. Okay, we see now in this screen we see that we test, our test passes, the test suite named empty spec, and we visit example.cypress.io, right? So basically that's what's happening here. I guess we can also run it in different browsers, right? But that's basically what happened. So this was our first successful Cypress test. We can rerun them here and opening testing preferences. Okay, auto scrolling. What is that? Those are the specs. So we have our home spec right here, right? Okay, that's a different one. Specs integration. Ah, it's home spec.ts, right? That's the one we had. It's visit, yeah. So the test body was there previously. Okay, that makes sense. Good. So let's see. Cypress then run our spec against our kitchen sink application now that we have created our spec file. So now let's see if that file automatically got created. So we have Cypress. Whoa, we have Cypress. Yeah, that's our example, right? But is it under the path they told us? It's Cypress integration home CI spec TS. So that's our example, right? And that's also something we should find. Oh my god, I have too many windows. That's not the test. It would be home CI spec TS. So that's our example, right? We have multiple homes, which is not the best naming here. But yeah. So those are our specs. I kind of like the integration they have here, this browser of running for running things. Good. This is the default test, yeah. Okay, let's break the code. So yeah, the code is pretty clear. On the first line we see that, yeah. Yeah, so you use describe for test suite, it for like tests, same as in Karma, Jasmine. So for our first test, we are going to be writing a test that asserts that the H1 the home page contains the correct text. Right. So we have our application. So we want to test basically this. That this text is testing Next.js application with Cypress, right? So what we can do is finally we can whoa. No. So instead of course, instead of visiting Cypress.io, visit is a command. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just curious because where is the assertion? It's not yet there, right? So if we just go here, oh my god, too many windows. And also I think the ordering is not the best, right? I should probably have docs right, code in the middle, and then yeah. So we go to 3000, right? Localhost 3000. So now let's run our test, npx cypress open. So that's basically this one, right? So we probably have to kill it. No! So we run Cypress end-to-end testing, right? Against Chrome. Now again, we get our screen. And our home. We see that we edited it 5 minutes ago. Somehow I cannot click anymore. Why can't I click? Now. Okay, so we see that we now visit localhost, right? So we now don't visit the Cypress URL, we visit localhost, makes sense. But we don't have any assertions yet. So by default it just passes. Click on end-to-end testing, yeah. Yeah, you should see the following. So that's basically if we would kill our application, right? So then we would get that error, right? So if we do this, can I just rerun it here? Now we get this error, right? Which makes sense, because our application is dead. So let's go ahead and rerun our application. Whoa. Good, it's back up. So probably next we have to add some assertions. So here it's back up, right? Yeah. Run def, exactly. So this is interesting. So we can use Cypress to get a hold of the H1. We probably should store it in a variable, right? Here we can see the steps. Yeah, but I want to do like, yeah. We can either store it in a variable or we can just use this contains. So we go get H1. And you see the nice auto completion in the ID. And what was the text? Testing Next.js application. Okay, so our test should automatically be updated. So I guess here we now have like the steps, right? So we have a fetch, the visit, then we have a get, and then we have the contains assertion. And if you would make a typo, because you know, you should only trust the failing test. So you should see every test fail at least once, right? So it fails because he tries to get, so this contains is not really an assertion, it's more like a specific way of specifying the selector further. So saying, I want to get a hold of the button with that ID, right? So now we say, therefore we also get a timeout because he's not able to find the button, the H1 with text Cypress. That's the reason why, right? If we go back to Cypress, then this works. So we don't even need to run assertions because the assertion is already here. Like if this fails, then you know there's no button. Yeah. Command chaining, yeah, that's good, it makes sense. Getting element best practice. Yeah, so H1 of course is not the best, like, because there can be multiple H1s, so usually you use class or ID selectors. Makes sense, right? Yeah. We're going to replace the get with the data test attribute, which is usually used, right? So data test attribute basically means that you have your H1 in the HTML and you have this data test attribute on it, and we can query it now with this. So with square brackets, data test hero ID, right? And this, yeah. So this is a more specific selector. I don't want to type this. We could even be more specific, right? Instead of just, so what they want is just this, right? Also when I use the I can do it like this, and they have it without H1. I kind of like it with H1 because it's even more specific, right? So yeah, this works, and it would also work without the H1, right? But this is a more specific selector, so this would also work. Also, I like that it's fast, right? It's instant, like really instant. So that's pretty cool. Good, if we save our test, yeah. Testing the course features. Next we are going to write one more test and lesson that verifies the features in the hero of our homepage are correct. Okay, 4 courses, 25 lessons, free and open source. So how does the markup look like? Yeah, exactly. So the markup looks like 4 courses. So yeah, we don't have any. So the question now is, how do we query those things, right? Because we don't have any data test attribute on it. Yeah, so they say that sometimes you don't have access to the underlying HTML markup. Yeah, third-party component library makes sense. So what is the best approach actually, right? So we can have like very complicated CSS selectors, but let's see what they recommend here as an approach. So we should add a new test, we will do that later, right? Using only to run a single test. Okay, that's cool. So, you know, in Karma, for example, I think in Chest as well, when we want to run one single test, we can use an F in before the describe block or the it block, right? And here we can probably also, no, here we can use dot only. which is good, but I'm still curious what is the best way they say to get the... Yeah, let's see. So we have DT. I mean, you can basically get a list of them, right? I don't know if they want to... Yeah, the features on the homepage are correct. Okay, let's see. Let's write our tests ourselves. Right. Whoa, wrong key. Alright, so we have that the features on the homepage are correct. So the first thing we do, we say we visit. Also, we should probably use that only, since we only want to run this one. And now what we want to do, we want to get access hold of basically those things. So that's DT. Let's see what we get under DT. I don't know if it's the only one on the page. Let's see. Can I type it? Yeah. And now I'm curious how you see that he only ran this one test, right? If we remove the dot only, there will be 2 tests running. You see the first one and the second one. So that's pretty nice. I like it. So yeah, on the get, now I want to see, we get 3 matched elements, right? And the 3, wow, Cypress, wow. Okay, that's so nice. We get 3 data table. I think DT is data table. I don't use tables that often, but I think it's data table. So we get those 3 elements and look how they highlight in the browser. Wow, that's so cool. So I guess that's basically an array, right? It's my guess, or like some sort of list. And now we can loop over them. So I would say that, I don't know if Cypress has like something like at position or something. Let's see if what they say in the tutorial. Yeah, yielded. So they say 3, right? It's probably an array. So const features probably, right? Can I do it like this? Is there an expect? I guess there is an expect. Features at position 0 to be 2 contain, just contains. Is there also a equals? Because equals is more like specific, right? And what's the first feature? I don't remember. It was 4 courses. Let's see. Expected. Okay, that's undefined. So what is actually, can I do a console log? Let me do, whoa! I don't see, do I see something here in the console? Probably not, right? I see. Okay, that's cool. So the thing is, I see a DT, not a DT. I want to bump the font size, I cannot. I see some chainer or something. I guess that's some Cypress wrapper around it. Dot invoke dot length. So you say features dot invoke. Okay, what's that? And what is that actually doing? I'm not sure. Like, they will probably explain it here. So it's not really an array, I guess, right? Well, since we are getting back an array, we can Cypress command call. This command will allow us to access specific. Yeah, okay, now in Cypress, So I guess that this would be the first one, right? That get 0. And then probably we can say contains 4 courses. I'm not sure if that's the correct. Sorry, it's not get. Okay, that's... Okay, so basically the first assertion, it gives you the... So we could do like... Wait. So we could probably have it like this, right? So we have the features, and then I don't know if this works. And you are saying, Sam, that features of invoke and then length. This is API. Can I do equal free, or how do I assert it? That's something I didn't get yet in Cypress. Because like in normal classic unit tests I would do expect, right? I don't know if that's the idea, because it seems like the test just passes if you fail stuff, if you find stuff, right? Okay. So this doesn't seem to work. Will this work? No. Okay, that contains, but yeah, then I get the element 0. I get that. Am I doing something? I don't see the difference, right? Yeah, because this is not wrong, right? Probably nothing was... Because courses is actually uppercase, right? Yeah, now it works. So the issue was, and that was the first failing test, that this is like uppercase. So yes, Sam, I would still be curious, how can I test like the length then? So I do like sci get, no, feature invoke length, right? Length, right? I do this, probably I see here in the browser that I get so this seems to fail, right? Feature invoke returned a number. Feature its whoa, its length. What? Equal to 4, right? Really? Its length should probably equal to 3, I guess, right? Because we have 3 elements, but yeah, the rest is correct, okay. Okay, so this then also kinda manipulates the object, right? Because this works, and as soon as I drop this in, so then I should probably never work with variables, but always directly with this, I guess. I guess that's the idea. Whoa. Just correct me if I'm wrong. But I guess this, because this works for both, right? But what is this? Its length? Can I also do dot? I cannot do dot length, right? Because I don't like the string based. No, I cannot. Okay, this syntax I don't like at all. But okay, so probably we can now go and do like the first one, the second one. The first one is 25 plus lessons. Oh my god. Free and open source. So I guess, yeah, this runs, right? So that looks good. Where did you find the Cypress course? So Rubix 7778, I found it. If you go to just cypress.io, right? And then you go to docs and then you do like learn Cypress. And that's basically the course. I can also paste it here in the chat if you want. Then you don't have to go there yourself. Can I paste? Paste. Sure, no worries. Yeah, so yeah, that I really like the experience. Like it's super fast, it's instant feedback. The only thing I don't like so far is this. So it's super cool that we can do that, but I don't like. Yeah, I would expect that I get that length here or something. I'm doing the evaluation between Playwright and Cypress. That's why I'm asking. Okay, Playwright I have also not checked out. I would be curious about the results actually. I would be curious. Because this, as I said in the beginning, I come from like, I'm an Angular developer and I did a lot with Protector, and this is like next level experience compared to Protector, right? I'm just thinking that's pretty hard to beat. So I don't know about Playwright. Let's see. Maybe it's super cool. Okay, so we tested that equal 0 contains. Yeah, so we have that practice. Yeah, so we did also the other test, 25 lessons, right? We even have like tested the length thanks to Sam, which is cool. But this, is there something I can? It's get a properties value. Okay. Okay, next lesson. In the previous lesson we updated our test, use data test. Yeah, that's data test hero, makes sense. Good. To do this we can write our custom Cypress command. Okay, well, it's perfectly valid. Wouldn't it be nice if we could clean up the syntax? Okay, so we can have custom Cypress commands. So, yeah, that's cool. So we will probably add this file, right? So under Cypress support commands.ts, probably down here. So we can add the Cypress command, get by data, and it takes in a selector, and then we say we get, okay, we get data test ID. I don't like that it's called get by data. Data test ID, right? That's for me the better name. Since we are using TypeScript, yeah, so index.ts. Is this really needed? jQuery. Whoa, never thought I will see this again. So let's try. Yeah, so let's try if this is really needed. So our home spec. So here we would say get by, yeah, it is needed, I guess. What is the issue here? Chainable is not generic, okay. I don't see my get by data test ID, right? Cypress. So we added the command get by data test ID, right? Data test ID, so that makes perfect sense. In the index.ts we say Cypress. Why do we have this interface chainable? Since we're using types of yeah, chainable is probably that we can call it, right? Get by data, right? Get by data test ID. Doesn't matter that if this called. Ah. Thanks, Sam. I hate when comments make like a difference. So how did I call it? Get by data test ID, right? So the idea would be the usage would be basically like this. And then here we do like yeah. You're saving me here, right? You are saving me here. But now, right? I guess you meant like it has to be the first comment in the file, right? Yeah, but it still doesn't pick it up. Somehow. I don't know why. Name Cypress? Is it Cypress or just CI? Right, because okay. No idea why this doesn't work. Also, this chainable. Right, this was what he wanted me to do. I don't know why it doesn't work. Like, it feels like I did everything the way they want me to do it. Maybe I don't know if I have to restart it. I mean, that shouldn't have to do anything with the ID. Also, it passes, right? So it's just TypeScript that is not happy. Yeah, of course, at the runtime he finds it. So I don't know why. Maybe I have to restart TypeScript or something. It's just in the ID. Okay, I'm actually not sure why this doesn't work. But yeah, let's probably continue. So, but yeah, it's cool. We can basically add custom commands, right? So that's pretty neat. If somebody in the chat has an idea why this probably doesn't work, I'm all ears, because yeah, I don't see it. Maybe. No idea. One of the most common. So let's also quickly Google. Yeah, it is recognized in our case, but it's like it's basically not found. This sounds like it. Yeah, we add the command. Declare global namespace, right? Interface chainable. Yeah, and then we do. So this should be recognized, right? Let's try that. If we have a DTS. Doesn't work either. So yeah, it should be in the index. Yeah, not TypeScript. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like this, right? Not even, just chainable. Yeah, okay, but Yeah, it's not generic. Try using the new command line. How I make it work. After a bit of understanding. Yeah, let's see. So he does chainable element, which chainable is not generic, so how come? Maybe it's in the TS config. So it's probably under types. Where is it? It's under Cypress. But that should probably be in the TS spec, right? Is there a TS spec? But we have one in here, right? And here we say type Cypress, but then also man, I'm not sure. Support, is it? It's on the same level, right? It's dot slash. I want to figure that out. Refresh TypeScript server, okay, that's probably. Now, if it's still underlined red, yeah, I'm not sure why. Global DTS, maybe here we have an interface chainable, right? Here are all the things declared, so why not putting it in here? So why not go like this? And here it also has chainable. Maybe something like this, then we can get rid of this, we can get rid of this, we can revert our TS config, right? Your stream window is shifted on right. What do you mean by that? So that I'm shifted on the right. Let me quickly check something. Yeah, so you mean compared to other streams, right? Black empty border on the left. Oh, really? Ah, okay, got it. Sorry. Now it should be better, I guess. Yes, so thanks a lot, MDS Ubuntu, thanks a lot. Okay, cool, so we made that work. Yeah, so probably it would be cool, could we also contribute somehow to this Cypress tutorial? Because I think that's that's like a tutorial to get started with Cypress and then edit this page, right? So can I do like okay. Since we are using TypeScript, you may get some errors from the compiler tag. You can fix this by creating. So here we would say you can fix this by updating the file. Which file is it? Global.dts. That's Cypress. Global.ts. And add the following. So what we would add is this, but in their example they don't call it get data test ID, get by data they call it. Yeah, get by data, and then chainable element, and we would add it to, oh my god, where am I? So, and here we have like a bunch of other things, like here we would do something like this. I don't know if it's understandable, I hope so. So, propose changes. Is this the commit message, right? I think so. Docs probably, right? That's tutorial. Update. What kind of section did we update? Docs tutorial. Custom commands. We have to edit the global.d.ts file. Maybe we can even do here like the backticks, right? How's it called? Let's see, propose changes. Okay. Yeah, create pull request. Good. Yeah, so let's see. Good. I quickly have to pee. I'm coming right back. Yeah, see you in a minute.
Trying to get your attention, you make me nervous. In the corner of my best friend's sofa, you were getting by some rum and cola. Wasn't brave enough yet just to talk to you. Not a smooth talker under pressure. Sweaty palms ain't making it much better. Something about you feels so special. From the minute that I met you.
So nice, we contributed now to the official Cypress tutorial docs. That's cool. Who knows, maybe we are soon official Cypress contributors. So good. Let's see, where were we? Okay, here we were here, but the problem is, of course, we were updating the docs. Good. So we were testing forms, right? How do you know? Blah blah blah. Does the form display an error message when things go wrong, and so on? So basically, we have to test the form and the behavior with error handling. Happy versus unhappy paths, yeah. User can successfully subscribe. Yeah, so that makes sense, right? That's something we should have done like from the get-go. So to refactor this into a before each hook. All right. Move that up. First we will write a test that confirms that the user is able to successfully sign up for our newsletter. Okay, so we will add a subscribe Cypress.ts. Subscribe.cypress.ts. So now here we should have like specs. I don't know if it updates. It has to be named. That's also something we should fix in the tutorial, because now it has to be .spec.ts, otherwise it will not show up, I think. Yeah, because here is now our test, right? Should we contribute again? Probably. Oh my god. Maybe we should do like create a new file. Oh my god, what kind of color is that? I cannot see anything. What? Because of the search. How can I... Oh, no. So how is the pattern.spec.ts, right? Yeah, so actually this was also an issue on the homepage, so we should also fix it there. But let's then maybe keep these docs open, because I think we will still encounter more issues. So let's go ahead and do like Cypress.io docs learn Cypress, right? We were here, how to test forms. No, custom commands we already had. Okay, we probably have to go to next. I kind of lost track where we were previously. Test user can successfully subscribe. Yeah. Before each hook, that makes sense. So inside here we would get the email data, the email input. Yes, that's the better solution to edit the pull request. Much better idea. So we will do that in like a second. Something is wrong with my music. apparently. That should come back. Okay, that's a much better idea to edit the pull request. So let's go to pull request, right? And we have, oh, it's even failing. Yeah, authorization required to deploy, okay. So edit. I'm not so happy with the online editor, so I will probably check that out, right? Do I have to fork it now? I think I have to fork it. And we probably close the pull request and we do everything then. But this is... Yeah, so because this was not a fork, right? If you do... Ah, it's already... Okay, it's already forked. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead. Oh my god. I never thought that I will be ending up adjusting the type, the Cypress tutorial. But let's see. That's how it works. No, that's the wrong one. So inside here we have package JSON. I also want to run it locally, right? Yeah, come on. Okay. Anyway, I will fix that soon. So email input. Now that we know things are working properly, let's continue writing our test. We have the email input element and now we need to type in a valid email. Yeah, so basically the type allows us to add something. Yeah, let me copy that. Too lazy to type. Good. Now let's see if our test runs. Yeah, so we see also that he enters. Let's rerun. We see how he enters. It's super fast, but he enters like the email address, right? Back in the Cypress app, we can inspect the type method and see the state of our application. Yeah. Offers time travel debugging, which is an incredibly... Okay, time traveling, I like it. I also like it from other tools like NGRX. It's pretty cool. Before and after, so I want to see how that works. Ah, yeah, before, after. Wow, that's cool. Okay. I have to say it's nice. It's nice. Next, we need to get subscribe button. So yeah, you get the subscribe button, you click on it, right? Okay, for copying this get rename was not bad. But isn't get by data test ID is the better name than get by data, right? Or am I the only one that feels like this? So yeah, okay. Now we probably have to check for this success message, right? Yeah, that the success message should exist and it should contain this. That makes perfect sense. So this is how the whole test looks like. Yeah, so that makes sense. How is it looking here? port 3001, right? Yeah, so that's basically the docs, and I think we had some. I think here there was also already something. So the cloning and stuff, that makes all sense. But there was an issue with the spec name, I think. Somewhere here, wrap up, right? That makes sense. Cypress safe dev, makes sense, makes sense. There was something where we created the home file, right? I think it was here. So let's rename this file to home. And actually, the proper solution would also be to update the image. I don't want to update the image. Like, I want to update it, but I don't want to do. How is it called? Home. We are going to be writing home.sci.spec, right? I think that's the common pattern. When you go to specs, it's just .spec. They don't really speak of Cypress.spec, so maybe shouldn't also speak of .cypress here, right? I think that's probably the better pattern. I don't know if you guys has like experience with this. What's the best naming convention for Cypress tests? Not sure. This should now update. Yeah, home.spec.ts. The problem is that there is already a home.spec.ts in this starter, right? I think when you start, you already get this. And that's a problem then. So maybe there shouldn't be a home.spec.ts out of the box. Maybe. Because we have under Cypress E2E. Here it's still called E2E, right? But on my app it was called integration. Because the app is not really the same as here, right? And here they have the .ci ending. Yeah, I'm not sure what's the best, what's the good naming convention. Anyway, let's maybe focus on kinda, I don't know if maybe I will create a pull request later and go through it or on another stream or something. But here I actually wanted to just get a hands-on with Cypress and see how it works and not turning the stream into fixing Cypress docs and Cypress docs, Cypress tutorial, right? Yeah, so where was I? Okay, yeah, so we had this form test, right, where we click on a button, that makes sense. Yeah, how to find data test attributes. Okay, we can just inspect in the browser, I guess. Data test ID, right? Invalid email address, all makes sense. Here we can do, so we type something, we click and shoot, and then this not .exist. this is something that I don't know how you guys feel about this, but this is definitely not my favorite. Practice answer, yeah. Now, testing your first Next.js application. Okay, writing multiple page tests. So this is also something important. So you have like visit and the heading, blah, blah. But you can also route to other tests. So I'm just browsing through a bit. So we also have a headless mode. I'm curious how can we start the headless mode? I guess it's just a flag, right? So far we run open, Cypress run. Maybe Cypress run is like the headless mode. This would be here. Yeah, so that's the headless mode, right? So that's cool. And even the cool thing is, when we run it in headless mode, we get a video. Under videos, okay, that's very nice. So Cypress, and then we get videos, all right. Find and Finder. Open in Finder. And here we get this nice video of nothing. Yeah, because that's probably not the best one. But email subscription should be something where we see some stuff. So it's loading. Yeah, it's super fast. It's hard to see, but you can kind of see what he did, right? So in headless mode, he creates those videos, right? We quit it. So I just want to kind of find out about those features, right? Courses section. Yeah, that's how to find data test IDs. Best practices. Remember how in previous lesson we stressed the importance using data? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you need to do stuff like this. So course 0, find the A, that is the third one, and then click on it. Now, okay, so we can also, by using location, we can then access the location of the router, which is pretty cool. Path name, yeah. So I don't want to write all the things. User journey, so you can then basically, yeah, you write your user journey test, but what the idea? So yeah, you write your test, you visit localhost, you get like the course and the third link in the course, and then you say that the path name should equal to testing your first application, which makes sense. We will then write another assertion. So yeah, those are actually already the assertions. So this assertion, is there somewhere a docs about this? Because that's something that's the only thing I kind of dislike so far. The assertion syntax, right? The rest kind of makes sense, and so you can then basically really with this interactive browser step through and see kind of how it works. But I would be curious about testing is a mindset. Yeah, the testing pyramid. We already have that. I'm more like Cypress, advanced Cypress testing concept. Okay, here we are then like with continuous integration, HTTP request and stuff, which makes sense. It's more like this stuff that I'm interested in. Yeah, Cypress visit. We type something. Yeah, that's something we had. Before breaking this file down, it's important to note it's built upon Mocha. So Cypress uses Mocha as a test runner then probably. This example out of them. Okay, but Mocha itself, the way I understood. Okay, Mocha, does Mocha also have assertions? I thought Mocha is like more like the runner, and then you use something like Chai, for example, as an assertion library. Does Mocha have assertions? Getting started. Ah, it has assertions, okay. And that's then probably the Mocha syntax, I guess. Using async await. But here you see, if you need to perform asynchronous, so this basically is an assertion library, right? Each has assert, and the assertions, I would be curious if there's like a detailed section on that. Cypress run in the browser, command chaining, yeah. Okay, so that's also why we use the chainable, right? All Cypress command yield a subject, so that's the reason for the chainable. Clear cookies yields null, okay. Okay. When you want to act upon a subject directly from a Cypress command, you need to yield the subject to then. We covered then and crep. Okay. So here are basically some functions we have, like uncheck, select, double click, right click, chains of commands. So that's interacting with element. More searching for testing types. No. Is there like... Huh? Guides. I basically want to figure out how to write assertions. Also, light out. There was something. Assertions reference. Yeah. So this is basically what I want. Why do they write this as a string sometimes? Because this is Chai, right? Assertion Cypress bundles the popular Chai assertion library. Okay, yeah, so I can use Chai basically then. So that's pretty cool. 2db equal. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's what I wanted to see. Yeah, so there's a lot still to explore. But I think like from here we could kind of start writing tests. So I just really wanted to get like a feel of how it feels like writing those tests, how it, what kind of features you have. In a nutshell, yeah, run test, debug test, who uses Cypress. So this debugger and everything is so cool. It's Okay, you can do like automatic weighting, consistent results. Screenshots, you can also take screenshots. I think we just generated, if we run in headless mode, we just store the videos, right? But not something else. That's the wrong project. Yeah, I guess you can just configure it by... I guess there's a Cypress config or something. Yeah, there is a Cypress config. Spec pattern, right? Where are your specs? Viewport high. Okay, it seems like by default the videos are created. That's cool. Yeah, so I think this all makes perfect sense. It looks really promising. So I would be curious also about, I don't know if Rubik is still here. I would be really curious, or if anybody in the chat has also experience with Playwright. It's another one, but even I haven't tried it, but I think that if I would have to test like end-to-end test flow, I would probably go for Cypress. I think it's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so I don't want to go through. Let me check again the docs and let's see if there's something else very interesting in it. But I think now how to write a test. Okay, this may be the asynchronous nature of Cypress. Yeah, one of the most crucial. Return versus yield. Yeah, that's also what I did wrong, right? I was also thinking like, why don't I get like a list? So if I do const button, this will not work, right? Because it doesn't return, it yields. Yeah, so no variables using, you shouldn't use variables during your test, okay? That's something pretty important. Okay, with .then you can interact with it, right? Is a Cypress command, and this is also important. The .then, maybe the naming is not like the best, but the .then is a Cypress command, not a promise, right? So that's kind of the case. This means that if we could like Cypress perform some action upon it, we first need to use for Cypress to interact with it. Okay. Cypress to rep. Yeah, this one I don't like. Is this chai? Because I think, like, let's see if I go here to this real world testing. Where is it? And I go to my home dot. I think it was this one, right? And then I get here. So let's go with only. So this should be not too. Let's see. No. That was the wrong browser. Change it back. So what I want to see is chai assertions, right? So I have chai. I'll make that a bit bigger. Assert is okay, is not okay. Because I usually use chest, right? Is at least, is below, is true. Assert, right? To not equal. I'm not sure what I can. Oh my god. Not equal, but that's an assert. I don't know if I have to, because they said somewhere not chainable. Cypress chai, right? Assertion Cypress. What is chai in Cypress? Yeah. Here, expect name to not equal. To not equal, right? And now why is this not working? Because so we get a Cypress chainable. Because probably we have to use the expect, right? Yeah, okay, sorry. Now where is the testing? But this should fail. Right, this should fail. Because we are actually using the chai assertion library. We are saying expect. So he still finds it, right? And yields it then. But maybe here. Is there a way to get the text? Like, so these assertions are not yet clear for me how. Yeah, okay, that's the child library, but then because why is this? That gets it and then expect. Yeah, because he says expect object spec window container idea. So I probably somehow have to get like the text. So that's the chainable, right? And that's probably with this invoke. And I don't know what I can do here. Text content maybe. So this is something, this invoke. Not to equal. Printed output to your console, okay? Yeah, but it's the whole subject. Yielded. Yeah. Testing Next.js. But he still thinks object equal. Because this is yielded, not returned. So what happens if I do it like this? So this would be the value, right? And inside here, I do value. Yes, that's the way to go. Now let's try with Cypress, and it's green, right? Okay, so you can use it, but you basically have to yield stuff. You have to yield stuff. You have to kind of, you don't get the return type, but I would still be curious about this invoke. Invoke function the previously yielded subject. Aha, so you can basically invoke the value function, should equal foo, invoke show, and then you can use this should. Okay, so chai probably you need for more specific use cases, I would say. Yields return, okay. So yeah, the get basically returns chainable. That's actually a chainable, and I would be curious. Cypress chainable, not React API. Why am I on React? So the chainable just returns you, yeah, a chainable of element, and then on this element you can, yeah, okay, you can use the invoke function to get stuff out of this element, right? Yeah, Cypress bundles jQuery and exposes many of its DOM traversal methods, okay. So we can get, and then each Cypress query is equivalent to its jQuery counterpart. Okay, so jQuery isn't dead after all, right? Even used in cool stuff. So find, article, then children. Okay. Cypress leverage powerful selector engine. Okay, so basically what we get back here, we can then use some jQuery stuff on it, right? Okay. Okay, good. The first. Yeah, so this leads to, okay. Yeah, so we can work with the element, and probably here is where we would use chai inside, right? We wouldn't use it top level. Okay. I think that all kind of makes sense for me. It also looks good. So yeah. I probably think that's kind of everything to get a quick overview of how Cypress works. Of course, there are many things to find out once you want to dive deep, but I guess that's then just like a hands-on principle, right? Also, yeah, I think that's kind of it. So yeah. I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. Tomorrow I will probably stream, and tomorrow I will stream a bit longer. I plan on streaming a bit longer, because tomorrow what I actually want to do, I want to go over to the dark side. I want to use React for the first time in my life. So I've done many different frameworks. I've done Angular, I've done Svelte, I've done Quick. Yeah, but I haven't done, I've done Astro and Analog, but no React, never done React. So yeah, I'm curious how that goes, because I'm not coming to those streams prepared. It's just mainly freestyle, so I'll just try to figure it out on the fly. So let's see how that goes, how it goes if an Angular dev does React for the first time. Let's see, I'm very curious about this. Looking forward to that stream. And for now, let's see if we can raid somebody. Is there somebody to raid right now? Somebody that is doing some cool stuff? Is there somebody doing Angular? Here, there is Angular. What's that? This doesn't look like Angular, right? Doesn't look like Fusek. Using, oh, Ionic and Django. Okay. Finite. What's his name? Okay, let's rate him. Okay, so yeah, thanks everybody for joining and hope to see you tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, let's see you tomorrow when we're doing some React. See ya, bye bye.
Pump up the action. Bitch, I'm active. If he never heard of
trying to assemble deeper models and things like that, I would argue